So I've been trying out the Melvin Brown oil, and so far, so good. I love it. I love the way it smells. I love the way it makes people look at you. Like for example, I've been wearing it to work, and I work around mainly all boys. And so when I go to work, the boys will be like, "Oh my God, you smell so good. What are you wearing?" And I usually just tell them that I'm wearing a scent an oil that one of my friends made. And, like a few times, they were just like, "So what's the name?" And so I didn't tell them exactly what it was called. I just made my own name because it was the name that my Target had given it. And it was cinnamon spice. And so I told them, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh, he knew exactly what he was doing because, you know, he's going to have all of the boys attracted to you because you just smell so good." And he said, "And you look good and you smell good." And he was just like, "That's just two good things going on." And I was just looking at him like, "Little boy, if you don't stop." And so, so then, I walk into rooms, and even with my coworkers, like one of the guys, I had walked in and I was really like not close to him, but I had gotten like right up on him because I needed something from his desk. And he was just like, "Oh my God, that's you." And I was just like, "Huh?" And he said, "You smell so damn good." He said, "Every time I smell you, you just make me like lose my train of thought." And I was just like, "Oh, wow." He said, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "It's an oil one of my friends made for me." And he said, "Oh my gosh, he did such a good job. You smell so good." So then another friend of mine at work walks up, and we are actually friends. Like we've been friends for like a good 10 years. And so he walks over and he's just like, "What are you wearing?" And I was just like, he kind of threw me off because I didn't even feel him come up behind me. And he was just like, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm wearing this oil. It's called cinnamon spice." And he was just like, "Oh my God, that smells so good. You smell so damn good. You just get my dick hard every time I smell your ass." And I was just like, "What?" And he said, "You just make me want to go somewhere and eat your ass and lick your pussy and all of that. Like that oil just turns me on. You just got me so turned on. I'm just so turned on by you right now." And I was just like, "Yo, like we're friends." Like he's never talked to me like this before. And it's just so shocking, and it just throws me off every time. And then I'll just be laughing in my head because I'll be like, "Oh my God, Melvin, this oil has got people going crazy." And the crazy part is when I go to work, I don't I don't wear the oil for like a sexual purpose. It's just to smell good. I just want to smell good when I'm at work, right? But it seems like everyone is so much nicer to me. They're like real compliant, whether it be females and or males. Like the females, even they'll walk up and be like, "Yo, what are you wearing?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm just wearing this oil that my friend made." And they'll be like, "Oh, wow, it just smells so good. You just smell so good with it. It smells so good." And so it's funny because this was like a gradual thing. I noticed I've been wearing the oil for like, weeks. And each week that I wear this oil, a new person will come up to me and start just talking. Like, even people that I haven't really seen before in the facility, they'll like start talking. Like, one guy, I had seen him actually, I see him all the time, but he never really said anything other than hi and bye. This time around, like, I was sitting down in the day room, and I was just sitting there with the boys, and, I was observing them. And he walks over and he's just like, "So, what movie are you guys watching?" And I told him. And then he like walks back over to what he was doing, but then I could feel him staring at me. And then when he was staring, like I looked over at him and I smiled. And then he came back over and he was just like, "I don't know if anyone has told you this week lately, but you were just glowing." He was just like, "You just got this glow about you. It's just so beautiful." He said, "And you really smell good. Like, what are you wearing?" And I just laughed because, of course, in my mind, it was just so hilarious because I'm just like, okay, like, he's never even said anything to me before. And then like even with the maintenance people, like they'll ask my coworker about me. They'll be like, "Hey, where's such and such? Is she here today?" And then my coworker will say, "Yo, they were looking for you." And I'm like, "Who was looking for me?" And he'll say, "Yeah, the maintenance crew was looking for you." And I'm just like, "Really? What?" Like we just say hi and bye and that's it. Like, what were they looking for me for? It's just hilarious. I guess they just want to smell the scent. Wherever you go, it seems like this scent is like, it just takes over and hypnotizes people and it just makes them really nice towards you and they want to engage and talk with you. Like, by far, this is the best oil that I've ever used. I believe anyone that's on the fence about buying this oil or getting this oil, you should definitely do it. Um, like I said, you shouldn't go out and buy like Tom Ford or Chanel or Chloe or anything. Just go out and just get the Melvin Brown oil. It's worth every penny. You will have whatever your intentions in wearing this oil, just make it known and you will get just that. All right. Well, like I said, buy the oil. It is just it's the shit. Talk to you later. Bye. So I've got this story, another story in reference to the Melvin's oil. It's basically about my Target. And so lately I've been going over to his house and I've been wearing the oil. I put it on from basically head to toe. And the other day I went over, he gave me this hug and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, you smell so good." He said, "Well, what is that called that you're wearing?" And I said, I just kind of looked at him and he was just like, "Well, it smells like cinnamon spice." And I said, "Well, everything nice?" And, like we just laughed. And so we went upstairs to the bedroom. We were watching a show. And he just like climbs on top of me and he says, "I want to give you a booty massage." And so I'm just like, okay. So he gives me this booty massage. And of course, he's massaging other things as he's massaging my booty. And so from there, he just starts kissing, and he kissed one butt cheek, he kissed the other butt cheek, then he like went in the middle, like not in the crack of my booty, but like how where your vaginal area is. He kissed that, then he started licking. Then before I knew it, he was giving, like he was eating my pussy, and it felt so good. And I was just jumping and creaming and all of that. And then, he whipped out and he was just like, "You're just making me so hard and I just feel so horny. I just need you." And, like he just went to work after that. It was just like he whipped out. I sucked him for a little bit. He was just really, really hard. He just went to Pound Town, seriously. And like he pounded me so many times. It just felt so good. And then from there, we went to sleep for a little bit. And I would say like maybe 2 hours later, he woke up. He did the same thing. Just Pound Town all the way. And then, of course, it was like we did it 3 times in one night. We've never really done that before. He's a little older, but that's not to say that he doesn't have energy. But this time around, it just seemed like he had so much damn energy. I couldn't even keep up with him. I'm a little younger than what he is, and I couldn't keep up. And after that, each time he had like this climax. We both did like this orgasmic climax, and it was good. Like it was really good, and like so that was that one day. Then the next, I would say probably like 3 days later, I went back over to his house, and Melvin had given me like these oral sex tricks that I should watch and then technique try on him. So I tried them on him. He loved them. And basically he came like really, really fast, and it was just like a really hardcore come like that he had. And he was like yelling and like beating his chest, and like it was just wow. And so then, when we finished and he started talking and he was just like, yo, I've never felt that before. And I was just like, well, what did you feel? And he was just like, it was just mind blowing. He said, it was just like really mind blowing. And I just didn't know how to control myself. And I just felt like I just came so hard and my dick was so hard and all of that. And he was just like, I just never felt that before. And I was just like, oh shit, it's the oil for real. He said, because I just couldn't even catch my breath. He said, I really just couldn't catch my breath. And so you could tell, like, during the whole, like, sexual experience, you could really tell that he was, like, really into it. It was really making him feel good. He was panting. He was breathing heavy. He was, again, beating his chest. Like, he was just in la la land. And, yeah, like, I think the oil caught him off guard so quickly or so strongly that he just came, like he couldn't even control it. And usually he's really like always in control, like he always wanting to please me and make sure that I've come first. But this time around, he just could not control it. And I was definitely not upset because I just love to please my man. So it's not even a thing. Yeah. So there you have it. If in fact you are looking for a great sexual experience or just to smell good and, attract plenty of guys and women, I'm telling you, even if you're not rocking that way, you will attract the women as well. Melvin Brown's oil are the oils to buy, definitely. So check them out for sure.